Okay, so now we got to set up KVM, kernel virtual machines. You are in a fresh install of CentOS at this point, right? And the first thing we do is we load up a terminal window. We're logged in as root. And we make sure we're connected to a network, so connect to something. This little icon up here, this is how you connect. It's pretty easy. We're not going to be using this later. We're going to get rid of Network Manager and manage the network with the configuration file from the command line. Persistent and temporary changes, we'll make both. But just to make it easy, we're going to use Network Manager for now. So configure your network up here, right? Make sure you're connected. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to install the packages for KVM. Okay, so QEMU KVM, python-vert-inst, vert manager. If I type this at the end of the line and I hit enter, it lets me go and keep typing. It's basically continue. So I have a long thing to type. It allows me to keep doing it, and when I want to end what I'm typing, I don't put that at the end, I just hit enter. So install all the packages for kernel virtual machines. Now, just to go over it again, the packages were QEMU KVM, python-vert-inst, vert-manager, vert-top, vert-viewer, libvirt, and libvirt-client. Okay? And hit yes. So now it's going out and it's grabbing everything that's needed, it's grabbing all the dependencies and things like that, and it is installing it. This actually gives me a chance to... So Yum is a package manager, and we can install things through Yum, right? And this will give me a chance to kind of show you something. So let me do something real quick. Come up here. Just give me a chance to explain something. Team viewer. You don't have to do this, I just want to show you something. So I'm going to download TeamViewer for Linux, and I'm going to download the RPM for CentOS 6, right? And I'm going to save that. And I'll show you something here in a minute. Yum has made life so much easier. Package managers have made life so much easier. Okay, cool. So I got TeamViewer, and I'll show you exactly how cool this is. So TeamViewer. So KVM's installed. This is a little bit of an aside. So got TeamViewer there, right? So used to be back in the day, you do this to install an RPM, and it would say, oh, can't install this because it needs this to be installed and this to be installed and this to be installed, and this is called RPM hell. Okay, so what would happen is I'd say, oh, okay, well, okay, I got to install this and these, all these, right? So I'd get this, and I'd go get the RPM for this, right? And then I would go to install this one, and there it would have 15 dependencies, and I'd have to get the dependencies for that, and I'd have to get all these dependencies and satisfy all of these dependencies before I could install this one package that I wanted to install. Yum is a package manager, and one of the things it does is it will go out and grab all of the dependencies and all of the dependencies and install them. It completely gets rid of the idea of RPM hell. You don't have to go and get the dependencies yourself and figure out what dependencies those dependencies have and all that. So Yum's awesome. It makes life easy. So I'm not going to install that. Okay, so now lsmod grep KVM and make sure that that's loaded. If not, type in modprobe KVM. Then do it. Okay, it's loaded up, right? Now, you have two situations here. If you, in this case, I have a root directory and everything on the root directory is here. So I've got a pretty small root directory, but let me show you something. Over here, oops, I have a large home directory. It's 172 gigs for my home, and I got a 50 gig root directory, right? Well, KVM saves its images to /var/lib/libvirt images, right? And since that does not have its own mount point, var, whatever, it's basically going to use space on the root directory. Now, since I had a much larger home directory, and if you are in that situation that you have a large home directory and a not so big root directory, then follow these steps. First thing you want to do is you want to make a directory under home, okay? Home QEMU images. Then you want to change the ownership of that directory to qemu.qemu, oops, /home/qemu. Okay. I'll get into this command when we cover SE Linux. But so you type this in, var libvirt/images /home/qemu. Oh, oops. There we go. And then we want to remove the directory var libvirt images, and we want to say create a symlink between home QEMU images and var libvirt images. Okay, so basically what that did was the program is going to continue to write to this, but when it does write to this, the images, it's actually pointing to this. So this is where it actually gets written. It's kind of like a shortcut. It's called a symlink. Okay. So basically, I'm not going to use any of the space on my root partition. I'm going to use the space on my home partition. Okay. So if all you have is a root partition and you don't have a home partition, then no big deal. You don't have to worry about that. But in this situation, yeah. So the next thing we want to do is, let's start libvirtd. Start and pull up virt manager. Oops. Okay. Virt manager. Now, we're doing this for ease of use. I can't do it because I'm in because I'm in a virtual machine right now. So I'll just show you from in here. So System Tools, Virtual Machine Manager, right? So we pull up Virt Manager, and basically you're just going to have localhost, okay? And it should connect. You shouldn't have any problems there. And first thing we want to do is click Details. We're going to do this later again. We're going to manage the KVM through the command line, and we're going to set all this stuff up through the command line. But just for to get things going for now, this make it easy. We're going to do it through through this here. So okay, so I'm just going to delete this. And you'll probably have like a couple things like this in here. Maybe it'll be empty. So what we want to do is we want to add this, okay, interface type bridge. So click the little plus, make sure it says bridge, hit forward. Click this and choose on boot. Activate now. Okay. These are both fine, and we want to bind it to this. If you're using wireless, if you're connected wirelessly, then you want to bind it to that. But I'm connected, I'm wired, so I'm going to bind it to this and hit finish. And that is going to create the BR0 network interface. Okay, so now you should have that in there. Okay, so that's done. Then we come over here to a terminal window, okay, and make sure that it is in fact bridge. Type that in. It should say BR0 and it's connected to ETH0. It should not have these for you, and that'll be fine, but it should have that. Or WLAN 0, whichever one you bridged it to, right? And the next thing you want to do is IP tables -I forward -M physical device -- physical device is bridged -J accept. Hit enter. Okay. Then type in service IP tables save. Hit enter. Service IP tables. I think I can reload the rules, so reload. Where's my forward chain? Chain forward. IP tables -I forward -M. Maybe I don't have this rule in there. This dev is bridged -J accept IP tables service IP tables save service IP tables restart. Okay. And it should say, there we go. It should say accept all anywhere physdev match, physdev is bridged. Okay, so it should say that. Okay, if you do not have Nano, yum install Nano. I already installed it. We're gonna cover VI. I never use Nano, but just to make things easy for now, I'm gonna use Nano. Etsy sysctl.conf. So nano etsy sysctl.conf. Okay, come down here to where it says net bridge, this long line, and these 3 lines here, if they do not say 0, change them to 0. If they are 1, change them to 0. Okay, Control X, and it'll ask you if you want to save it, hit yes, and then write it out to the same file, and do a sysctl-p etsy sysctl.conf to reload that. Okay. And after you've done that, do service libvirtd restart. Okay, so we restarted that. Then I'm gonna come up here to our virtual machine manager, right? Connect to it. It should already be connected, but if you have to, just right click and hit connect. Okay, and we're going to create our first virtual machine. We're only going to create one virtual machine for now. We're going to create others, probably in Arch Linux, maybe Ubuntu, a couple CentOS virtual machines, possibly a FreeBSD and possibly a Solaris, because we're going to want a mixed platform environment. Okay, choose local install media and hit forward. Now you should have, name it vm1.noob2admin.com. Okay, use ISO image. Right now, since we are root, the ISO image, okay, actually, before I do that, let me show you something. Come over here to CentOS's website, downloads, mirrors, public mirror list. You should have either download it or have it CentOS 6.3 ISOs, CentOS 6.3 x86 64 minimal. Okay, download that. When you download that, do I not have it? I don't. How large is it? Because if it's too large, I don't want to download it. I'm going to pause and I'll download that. Okay, so I'm done downloading it. And look at this. Noob to admin was taken, right? It's taken. Someone already has that username. God. I'm going to try and upload these to YouTube. So I did noob to admin was taken. Who has that? Somebody already has that username. That's unbelievable. Yeah, okay. So the download is done. Now it will download to the downloads directory, right? And here it is. So I want to move that downloads CentOS to temp. Just move it to temp, okay? And we come back over to our virtual machine manager and we browse local, go to the file system, and go to temp and choose minimal, okay? And we will say it's Linux and it's rel 6 and hit forward. CPU or memory 512. CPU one CPU is fine. Forward. 8 gigs, that should be fine. Forward. Make sure that it's using the bridge interface we just created. So hit advanced options, make sure that that is selected. And these are fine. Hit finish. So it's creating it and it's setting it all up, and it's gonna boot off that ISO. And we're installing our first VM, so just hit this, install. And let it boot into Anaconda. Or let it go into the installer. Okay, skip. Okay, and okay, and okay. Reinitialize all. Choose your time zone. Los Angeles, okay. Set a root password. Remember, make it something you can, that you'll remember. We will say use entire drive and hit OK. Oh, by the way, just tab, up arrow, down arrow, use entire drive. OK. And over, write changes to disk, enter. And so it's creating the drives now. And you're not going to get a choice of what packages get installed. There's no like minimal desktop, anything like that. It's just going to install 200 and some odd packages. Something like that. Yeah, 212. Okay, so let that install. Just as before, it's going to sit on this part for a minute, and takes a little time, you know. It's not locked up. It just takes some time, so let that go. I don't have Flash. Hopefully that's not a problem. Shouldn't be. If you happen to get stuck in the, you clicked in here and you get stuck, hit Control L, Control Alt, left Control Alt, and that will release your mouse. Okay, so that's done, and now we reboot. And we got just one more thing to do, and we will be done with our first VM, and we can finally move on to lessons. So it's going to boot up. Oh, if you want to see all that, you can hit escape. Otherwise, it just shows that splash screen with the loading bar at the bottom. Whoa, starting FCOE initiator service. Fiber channel over Ethernet. Okay, so log in with your password. And the first thing you'll notice is that your adapter is down. Can't ping google.com. So we want to get the adapter up. And we want nano. So say if up etho, but we don't want to have to type that in every single time, so we're going to make it so we don't. Okay, so now etho should have an IP address, right? And so let's see, we want to install nano. Yum install nano. It's gonna just grab the packages. So hit yes. And hit yes. Okay, cool. So we have nano installed. So next I want to do service network manager stop. Yeah, okay, cool. It's not even installed, so that's good. So we want to say nano /etc/sysconfig /network -scripts /ifconfig eth0. Okay? And we want to change this where it says on boot to yes. Okay? Get rid of this line. It doesn't really matter since Network Manager is not installed anyway. And on boot yes, and control X, and yes, and enter. Okay, so now when we boot up the machine, our network adapter will come up automatically. We can do a yum update if you want. That's not necessary, but that can be done. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is type in service SSHD status. And it says it's running, right? So IP-addr show etho, and our IP, or my IP, is 192.168.1.135. So come over to a terminal on your physical machine, okay, and type in SSH 192.168. Whatever the IP address is here, mine 1.135. Okay, 1.135. It should say that, okay? If it doesn't say that, then there's a problem, okay? Something's not working. So if it doesn't say that, let me know and we can troubleshoot what's going on. So I just logged into the remote, I just logged into my VM through SSH. And this is really, I mean, this is, this is how you're going to manage systems as a system administrator. You're going to log in through SSH. So that's it. So KVM is set up, everything is set up, CentOS is set up, and now we can actually start our lessons. So, all right, see you in the next lesson.